All right, it looks like we're recording. Also looks like I only got 12 minutes for this video. All right, let's get into it. Take my gum out. Welcome, everyone. My name is Mark Fuller. This is TeamAlliance. This is another educational video that I felt obligated to put out. I want to talk about discipline. How important is discipline when it comes to trading successfully on NADEX? I'm very specific with these videos because you'll always hear me add on NADEX at the end, because the NADEX platform is the actual platform that we use to trade 5-minute binary options on. Okay. We actually apply market skill to the 5-minute binaries on NADEX. This requires a lot of discipline because the way that we are trained is so unique and so specific. Our overall training is very detail oriented. It requires that you pay attention to the small details, that you don't deviate away from the process that we use. This means that discipline is not an option. If you lack discipline, you're going to lose. And what many traders find themselves doing is, until they develop the necessary required amount of discipline that you need to do this long-term successfully, they will repeat the same, I don't even want to call them mistakes, because sometimes it's worse than mistakes. It's not even a mistake that you make. A mistake is something that you do in error. What I've seen happen many times by people who trade is that they lack the discipline to not deviate away from what works all the time. And this ultimately can lead to you doing things that completely are outside of the framework of what you're being trained to do in the first place. And to lose your cool, so to speak, like say that you're dealing with the market, for whatever reason, you end up taking a trade and you lose the trade. Your best option at that point is to really take a closer look at what the behavior of the market was at the time that you took the trade, instead of trying to get back. In other words, instead of trying to get your money right back, revenge trading, instead of you going that route, you really need to stop and take a look at the environment that you took that trade during, to see what it is that you might have missed or misjudged at the time that led you to take a trade during a point or a period in the market where there was, undesirable behavior in the market at the time. I guarantee you that that is going to be what you'll find if you take the time to stop and actually examine what you did. I guarantee you that. And this is for more advanced. Well, not even if you're brand new, you should know out the gate how much discipline is needed in order to do this. A very high level of discipline is necessary. You're going to develop that discipline either through losing first, which is the market teaching you, or practicing with training that is designed to help you increase your discipline and your patience, which is exactly the way that TeamAlliance training is designed. So I can make reference to what it is that you need, because we offer what it is that you need. You need to develop your discipline to a high level first. This is before you start trading live. Now, many people don't give themselves the time to develop that discipline. So when they go live, they end up deviating at some point away from what they're being trained. They'll lose a trade and they won't know how to react to that loss. So they'll do things like revenge trade. In other words, continue to trade more that day after they took a loss. Instead of going that route, The reason that we recommend that you stop trading for that day is because you need to look at how was the market moving when you took the trade. Very simple question, right? Examine how the behavior in the market was when you took that trade. It will tell you so much about the way that you did not filter out what the behavior was in the market at the time. And that will help you tremendously, like without question. So this really is a video that will help some of you who have already experienced what I'm talking about, where you might have lost a trade. Instead of you stopping, you actually took more trades that day, tried to work your way back the same day or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. And what happens is when people don't do it, a lot of times what they'll end up doing is quitting and giving up because they feel like they can't do this anymore. But you got to understand that our training is designed the way that it is on purpose. It's very repetitive. It's very monotonous. It's quote unquote kind of boring because we repeat the same information over and over again because the market does the same things over and over again. And until you're able to recognize what those things are in the market that it does as far as its behavior, you're going to lose because you're not in sync with what the market does in its normal state. Like people always ask me, oh, is this normal market behavior? All behavior is normal market behavior because the market does what it wants to whenever it wants to. You see the point that I'm making? So there is no abnormality that goes on in the market at all. Whatever it's doing at the time is what it's doing. The question is, do you recognize what it's doing? And are you exposing yourself to that type of unprofitable behavior at the time? It's going to tell you a lot of information. So anyway, I'm done. I'm really done with that. I definitely wanted to put that out because, I like to talk about things that are relevant at the time. And I know that some of you need to hear that. How much discipline is needed? A lot. And many of you don't have discipline yet. Many of you deviate, you're impatient. These are things that you have to work on yourself as a trader. And you cannot trade successfully long term without them. So there's really nothing else to do other than to develop these things. All right. You guys can reach out, reply on this video if you had a question for Ask Mark anything or just had a question in general. Make sure that you check out the 1 a day challenge playlist that's on the YouTube channel. You can type in hashtag TeamAlliance into Google and you'll see TeamAlliance videos pop up. You'll see my videos pop up. Take a look at the videos. Take a look at this information. A lot of education on the channel. A lot of good trades that you can see what the market looked like during on the channel. We offer a lot. All right. So reach out. You guys want to get into training. That link will be underneath the video if you're looking at this on YouTube. All right. And that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you guys. See you in training. Again, reach out with your questions and I'll be more than glad to answer them, to address them in a video. Mark Fuller. Peace.